Good morning, guys. What's up? What's up? What's good? It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, and you know what it is. Smash those likes, guys. It's the morning news, Manchester United news with the daily update. How are you doing? I hope you all are well. Did you guys sleep well? Some of you might be sipping your coffee, still having breakfast. Some of you might be on your way to work. Well, I'm hoping that you guys have a good day. And with the news coming in, hopefully, you guys are going to have a better day, a better start to your day. There's a lot of interesting things coming in right now with Manchester United. Lots of interesting news to be had. Lots of new reports coming in. Possible hot deals for Man United. Are we going to do a double deal from Bayern Munich as the reports have been coming out? I have also reported yesterday Manchester United are exploring a deal to sign Noussair Mazraoui. Big up to you guys coming in. What's good? What's good? Big up to you, Stretty Post. What's good, Stephanie Griffith? Hope you're well. Good morning. Good morning. Big up to you, Joe Blackman. What's up, my brother? Hope you're well. Casimir, good morning to you. And I am good, bro. Hope you are well as well. You know what it is? Let's get into the story really quickly, guys. I've got quite a bit of information to cover with you guys this morning. So let's go through the new reports and see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you're thinking. And don't forget, guys, smash that like button. It helps the channel grow. You know what I'm saying? So Manchester United are exploring a deal to sign Noussair Mazraoui. Manchester United are actively exploring a deal to sign the Bayern Munich fullback, with concrete talks taking place between two clubs. According to Florian Plettenberg, he feels the Moroccan international is at top of the list for the Red Devils as they continue to overhaul Eric Ten Hag's defensive unit. Guys, we suffered a lot last season, and as you can see, these are the posts that was tweeted yesterday by Florian Plettenberg. Excellent, you know what I mean? Extra. Manchester United and West Ham exploring deal to sign Noussair Mazraoui. Yeah, guys, it's going to be interesting to see how this deal gets done. As you know, we are already in for Bayern Munich's Matthijs de Ligt. So it's going to be very interesting. We offered 35 million euros yesterday, which was rejected. They're still locked in negotiations for that player. Bayern won somewhere in the region of 50 million euros. But it's very possible the deal for de Ligt could be done somewhere in the region of 42 million pounds. 42 to 45 million euros, my bad, have been reported as a deal that might see Bayern Munich let the player go. Bayern Munich also needs to sell, so this is why you're seeing Mazraoui up for sale. West Ham are interested, so there's going to be a bit of competition there. I think the reports on Mazraoui that Bayern are now pushing to get somewhere in the region of 20 to 25 million euros, but the realistic asking price is somewhere about 15 to 20. And when I say 15 to 20, guys, that's somewhere in the region of 12 to 15 million pounds. That's even cheaper. You know what I mean? It could be cheaper than that if you look at it. So it's going to be interesting to see if this deal gets done. Manchester and Bayern Munich are still locked in talks. Reports in Germany this morning that they have already met again and sat down for discussions. It's going to be a long day ahead. There's possibly going to be some breaking reports coming out. As you know, we are looking at Mazraoui because we are interested in getting a move for this player, and I'm talking about none other than Wan Bissaka, guys. And Wan Bissaka, Man United lowered the asking price to 10 million pounds as they plot a swoop for Noussair Mazraoui. And this is interesting that these two deals are very much linked up. And as I'm saying this, I'm not too happy. I don't think any of you fans like me will be happy with this price for Wan Bissaka. We both believe that we all believe that he's worth somewhere in the region of 15 to 25 million pounds, closer to the latter. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, have a little bit of hiccups this morning, guys. Sorry about that. Manchester United reportedly lowered their asking price for Wan Bissaka as they contemplate a move for Bayern Munich right back Noussair Mazraoui. The right back position on the area of the pitch United could address in the event Wan Bissaka departs Old Trafford. There are some reports that the Englishman's future is uncertain heading into 24-25 season amidst links to outfits like Galatasaray, Crystal Palace, AC Milan, and West Ham. United are believed to have a list of players to potentially replace Wan Bissaka, Some of the players mentioned to be on the Red Devils transfer list include Van der Sar from AS Monaco and Ferdi Kadioglu from Fenerbahce. A more recent report covered by the People's Person relayed that the club want MAZRAOui, a player that Erik ten Hag knows very well from their time together at Ajax. It was stated that West Ham had cooled down interest in Wan Bissaka due to United's £15 million valuation of the player. There have been other suggestions that United want to make as much as £20 million for the 26-year-old, who has 12 months left on his deal with the 20-time English champions. However, in a fresh update issued by journalist Florian Plettenberg, United are now prepared to accept as low as £10 million for Wan Bissaka. According to the Sky Germany reporter, West Ham could switch their attention from MAZRAOui to Wan Bissaka if United have indeed reduced their asking price for him. You know what I mean? Plettenberg wrote on X, Aaron Wan Bissaka, a key possible deal with Nusa MAZRAOui for Manchester United and West Ham. Man United are seriously considering replacing Wan Bissaka with MAZRAOui. Therefore, they have lowered their demands for Aaron Wan Bissaka and now are demanding $10 million. West Ham are considering to push for Wan Bissaka if the transfer of MAZRAOui should not work out. This is going to be interesting, guys. Oh, man. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, guys. What are you thinking? Let me know what you're thinking, guys. What are your thoughts on these deals and these possible deals that are coming in right now? Curlers is coming in. Let's hope we land De Ligt and at least two others we need signing to make this team winner. 100%, my brother, 100%. Good morning to you, Jeff Steve. Big up to you, my Aussie brother from down under. I hope you are well. Hey, hey, hey. I'm excited. Let's make these deals happen. What's good? Craig Parker is coming in. Need to get Ugarte through the door. And as you're saying this, Craig Parker, I'm going to come on and move to another topic because, as you know, I will talk about Ugarte very shortly, but let's run on to another possible player that United have been setting their sights on. And in recent weeks, I'm hearing some reports that they might have been in contact. So let's get into this information, guys. And we're talking about Frimpong. I've been hearing reports about this for months now that Manchester United have set their sights on Jeremy Frimpong as they push for a new right back. We all know that he has a £34 million release clause, which probably will expire in a few days. And Manchester United transfer business this summer being led by the new trio of Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, and Jason Wilcox. United's first signing under the new leadership was attacker Joshua Zirkzee. However, it appears the club's hierarchy are keen on addressing the back line more than any other part of Erik ten Hag's lineup. The Red Devils have already highly rated Leny Yoro from Lille and remain interested in Jared Brathwaite and Matthijs de Ligt. United have also been linked with the likes of Milos Kerkez and Miguel Gutierrez to strengthen their left-back position. However, this week started with the club's hierarchy intensifying their new search for a right back, as the People's Person relayed, suggesting interest in Bayern Munich's Nusa MAZRAOui and AS Monaco's Van der Sar. Later in the day, Sky Sports added Jeremy Frimpong's name into the mix. And Sky Sports News, well, guys, you can also take that with a pinch of salt. Bayern Leverkusen right back was one of the most impressive fullbacks in Europe last season, managing 16-goal contribution in the Bundesliga. Under Xabi Alonso, Frimpong, who played his youth football at Manchester City, has thrived in an attacking role, spending most of his time in the final third. Any team signing Frimpong will get an incredibly creative outlet. However, his defensive contribution at Leverkusen has been a cause of concern due to his desire to join the attack consistently. Meanwhile, amid their search for a new right back, United reportedly lowered their asking price for Aaron Wan Bissaka. Guys, well, I already spoke about the Bissaka links and that situation. But yes, the concern for me with Frimpong is that he recently also stated loudly in a press conference that he would like to play in a more attacking role. And that's his goal, to play more in an attacking situation. Now, what are your thoughts on him, guys? I don't know what you're thinking. Big up to you, Jeff Steele, just doing a super chat as I like to support. Big up to you. Thank you so much for that contribution, my brother. And I hope you're well. It definitely goes well into helping the channel grow, my bro. Yeah, Craig, MAZRAOui, ETH, oh boy. It's one of those things, right? Big up to you, John Edmund, coming in. Good morning, good morning. And I do not, Joe Blackman is saying, I do not understand why we always sell our players so cheap. this is a funny thing, guys, and I don't know how to explain this, but for some reason, Joe, I would say this much is a strong possibility that we just need to get this deal out of the way, and maybe we're prepared to take losses on certain players that came in with the previous regime. That's the only way I could look at it, my bro. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, business has to go on. Business is business. Big up to you, Mental Bowling. Good morning. Good morning. Loving the daily streams. I'm enjoying doing them as well, my bro. I'm enjoying it. If we sell ABB, I want to see him replaced because the kid is a solid defender and we need cover for Dallo. 100% coolers. I couldn't say that better myself. I'm definitely hoping it's probably going to be Vanderson, to be fair. I think out of the options, Vanderson provides the better balance so far. I do like Frimpong, but he's so heavily attacking a player that I don't think he's going to do very well in defending. And the English Premier League is a seriously physical league, and you need to be a very, very good defender. You know what I mean? Big up, big up, big up, big up. 17 likes. Come on, guys. Keep smashing those likes. Let's go. Casemiro is coming in. Our players were giving massive wages from the previous regime, hence why other clubs don't want to take them, no matter how good the player is. And this is another big issue that's affecting us right now, especially in terms of selling players on. So I think it's really good that, we're going to take the loss now so that we can recoup it later on. It's going to be better when you look at the fact that we brought in Joshua Zirkzee and we're only paying him 58K a week. I know Leny Yoro is on 112, but at the same time, it's going to be interesting to see his development, and he's actually showing that he's probably going to hit the ground running. So he might even up his value, guys. It might be interesting to see how that develops. You know what I mean? You can't sell players you don't want for a high price. 100%, Brendan. That makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? Should do a poll on whether we prefer Mazraoui or Frimpong. 100%. You know what I mean? Samuel Ingram. Jeremy Frimpong is an upgrade on Wan Bissaka. Marcus Rashford should be sold to PSG. I kind of agree with that statement. Let's move on into some more interesting news as you're talking about the French league. Let's get in with some of this news because right now I think you all have been hearing the reports, and I just wanted to cover it for you guys so you guys are not too frustrated if the news isn't as exciting as you think. So let's bring up this report. Manchester United have gone into a search. Ugarte deal is not stalled, but PSG are trying to hold out for 50 million euros, and United are trying to knock that down somewhere in the region of 40 million. Let's see how that goes. But currently, you have been hearing some links of Man United want to sign Fofana instead of Ugarte. And let's get into this information. But I have been reporting previously that Fofana has already agreed terms with Milan, and Monaco have rebuffed interest from a few other clubs previously. Let's see how that goes. With the Red Devils have just signed Joshua Zirkzee, Leny Yoro this summer, they are now expected to focus on strengthening the midfield. Paris Saint-Germain, Manuel Ugarte has already agreed terms with the Red Devils, but initial talks have highlighted a gap in valuation according to Sky Sports. They're looking at Monaco's Youssef Fofana as an alternative, and discussions are also ongoing to make Sofiane Amrabat's loan deal a permanent one. Fofana would not be an upgrade on Casemiro. Fofana has been on the radar of the Premier League clubs over the past year. Nottingham Forest wants to sign him last summer, but he was not keen on the switch. The 25-year-old is more likely to leave this time around, considering he has no plans to renew his contract, which expires at the end of the season. Fofana has recently agreed terms with Serie A outfit AC Milan, but he won't come on the cheap. Monaco want at least £30 million after turning down a fresh £25 million bid from Forest. However, the Frenchman would not be an upgrade on Casemiro for the Red Devils. They expected that the ex-Strasbourg man won 2 tackles and 4.7 duels per league game last season with 7.2 ball recoveries. He has a passing accuracy of 82%. He lost possession 14 times per outing. By contrast, Casemiro completed 83% of his passes and losing possession on 12 occasions. So that's a big difference there, guys. Ugarte is likely to cost a premium fee, but he would be the best solutions. He won 3.9 tackles, 6.4 duels per outing with 7.2 recoveries, and he had a pass completion rate of 91%. The Uruguay international was dispossessed less than 7.5 times on average. It is quite clear that Ugarte would be the ideal acquisition for manager Erik ten Hag ahead of next season. And guys, this was my concern about Fofana. Fofana is not very good on the ball. He's not one of those players that I think is really, really dynamic. He's not an upgrade on Casemiro. And to be fair, guys, I don't want to make it sound like this, but he can't even get in the French national team ahead of Adrien Rabiot, and fans don't want to take him on a free. So why should we be spending 30 million to sign this guy? You know what I mean? I'm just asking the question. At the end of the day, it's just an opinion of mine. I could be wrong, but when I look at some of his games last season, and then I look at the stats, the eye test and the stats, they kind of tell a different picture from the picture that he's a very, very good player. You know what I mean? I think he's decent. I think he might develop into a better player, but as far as I'm concerned at this moment, I would not be willing to sign him for £30 million. I think that's way too much money, guys. But let's move on, guys. There's more reports coming out, and we know there's a lot of interest. And I've been telling you guys for the last couple of days, when everyone else was telling you that it was a no, I was telling you guys, yes, we are interested in Zavi Simons. He is definitely an option that will be coming into the club, and the club are very keen on having him. And you know what? It's interesting that everyone is now picking up on this story. I spoke about this since last week on Friday. I spoke about it again on Saturday. And Zavi Simons, everyone thinks he's going to Germany, but he himself is not quite sure. He liked Germany last season. He was hoping to go back there, but now with the advent and opportunity of the Premier League and playing for Manchester United, he is quite keen on probably making a different decision. So it's been delayed. Manchester United would be willing to splash the cash to sign one of the Netherlands' brightest talents. The Red Devils have made a statement in the ongoing transfer window with the signing of Joshua Zirkzee and Leny Yoro from Bologna and Lille, respectively. Right? Yoro was determined to join Real Madrid this summer, but United managed to convince him to change his mind with the help of club legend Rio Ferdinand. The Red Devils are now planning to make a further statement in transfer window. Sport claim they are prepared to pay €100 million to sign PSG's Zavi Simons. Bill has also mentioned the same in today's edition, but adds that Los Parisians prefer a loan deal and don't want to sell the Dutchman until January due to PSV's significant sell-on clause. The French champions re-signed Simons from PSV for just $6 million last summer, but as part of the deal, the Dutch outfit are owed a huge sell-on fee if the winger is sold before 2025. United seem unlikely to make a huge outlay on Simons. Simons has a fascinating loan with RB Leipzig last term. He scored 10 goals and provided 15 assists for the Bundesliga outfit as they qualified for Champions League. The attacker went on to shine for the Netherlands in the European Championship. He made 4 goal contributions and scored a stunning long-range goal in the semi-final against England. At 21, Simons has the traits to become a world-class forward. He can comfortably play on either wing and also has the ability to operate from the number 10 position when required. He would be a statement signing for the Red Devils, but the price mentioned looks out of order. With the limited budget, the club are unlikely to make such a huge outlay this year. A loan deal with an obligation to buy next summer could be a genuine option, but that would also depend on the departure of multiple wingers to find space and capital. Jadon Sancho has been linked with a move to Paris Saint-Germain. Alongside him, Antony may also have to be sold, as Simons would want guaranteed minutes to move to Old Trafford. Guys, I've been saying since last week, Zavi Simons will be a loan with an obligation to buy, and I can tell you now why it is like this and why United are willing to splash the cash behind this player. And he comes with some famous approval from our new assistant manager, and that is none other than Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ruud van Nistelrooy, as you know, has managed the player under his 40-goal contributing season at PSV when he was there as their head coach. Man United transfer target has the approval from assistant manager Ruud van Nistelrooy. You know what I mean? And this is what we're talking about when we're referring to Zavi Simons. He was questioned by the hierarchy on what they should do about Zavi Simons, and he has said nothing but praise for the young Dutchman. So definitely, as you know, he would be one of the people that would definitely be excited to have Zavi Simons in Manchester United this season. Yeah, Jeff Steele, don't want Fofana, £30 million just another McTominay. For F's sake. Yeah, Killers. I think Sancho to PSG is a deal that's very probable. His wages are not going to be an issue for the Parisian club. And I think he's going to be there and walk into the team as one of their biggest names. It's also going to bring a lot of interest into the French league, which would help bode well for their, renewal of their sponsorship deal for, you know what I mean, which is hanging in the balance. Yeah, we have to offload the deadwood and use that money to reinvest in good signings. But guys, I wanted to explain something to you. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. I'm not saying that you haven't, but I just wanted to inform you guys from a possible 120 million in the coffers, guys. We've only spent so far 32 million. We've spent 17 million to get Joshua Zirkzee this year. We've spent a further 12 to 15 to get Euro from Lille this year. And the extra £2 million that we spent, well, my buddies, that came from purchasing Dan Ashford. So if you want to look at it prospectively, technically, we still have a 90 million windfall in the coffers, right? And if you look at how we're doing the deals, some of the deals might be coming in a little bit over the odds, but that's because we're trying to amortize payments over the couple seasons of the player's contract, which means we will pay down a lower fee and pay similar fees over the next 2 to 3, and in some cases, like Xerxes, over 5 seasons. So it's going to be interesting to see the deals that we can get done, guys, because this means that it opens up the market as long as the clubs agree to accept, a reasonable fee down and accept the payment terms, which is reason why we're paying a little bit over their asking price. Then, guys, we're going to be signing about five more players into this team this summer and still not going to be hitting FFP problems. So it's going to be interesting. So pay attention to that, guys. Are you going to hate the fact Xavi joining means Bruno will go? Well, if Bruno goes next season, man, I'm not going to be mad at that, because then Zavi Simons would have had a year to acclimatize himself into the team and establish himself as a player. And I would have seen some kind of, change or some kind of little bright light that would say, you know what, we can create without Bruno. So in a way, I don't know. I'm pretty excited already because Joshua Zirkzee spells the end of Marcus Rashford. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? And that also includes Zavi Simons, because, guys, I don't know if anyone thinks Marcus Rashford is going to be a starter this season, but I can guarantee you he's not going to be starting every single game. He's probably going to be coming off the bench in some games. And currently, he's still suffering from a knock. Let's see if he's fit enough to play the first game of the USA Tour versus Arsenal, because he came off of the game in Rosenborg with a muscle injury. So it's gonna be something interesting to see and pay attention to this season. Rio Ferdinand, player agent extraordinaire, 100% Jeff Steele. Yeah. I don't think Bruno is going anywhere, but I think he might be going next season. It's going to be interesting to see how we do this deal. Fofana can play, dude. He's not Scotty, the Invisible Man. Campos Perf, I would tell you this. Fofana loses the ball more than Casemiro on average per game. So it's one of those things. He loses the ball 14 times per game, every game this season. You know what I mean? He has a pass completion rate of 82%, which is 2% lower than Casemiro and 7% lower than Manuel Ugarte. You know what I mean? He's on 82 and Manuel Ugarte is on 91, bro. That's interesting, Manuel Ugarte also wins 2 more duels per game than him. Casemiro wins 2 more duels per game than Fofana. You know what I mean? It's interesting, bro. And it's just interesting to see that, bro. I have a sneaky feeling he is, if there's a plan to penetrate the penalty area. If you want to penetrate the penalty area, I think you would want to be getting rid of Marcus Rashford instead of selling Bruno, my bro, because that guy does not know how to penetrate the penalty area, not one bit. It's a loan to buy, so that doesn't mean the sell-on fee won't go to the Dutch club for Xavi. Of course, it will not go to the Dutch club. If it's a loan to buy, by the time we'll be activating the clause to purchase him, it will be summer 2025. The deal for the Dutch club PSV expires in January 2025. So that means they get no peas. They get no peas, guys. Big up to you, Craig Parker. Simons isn't much better than the fidget spinner. Well, they're both better than Mason Mount, my brother. I know the fidget spinner had a bad season this last season, but I'm telling you, he offers more than Mason Mount. Mason Mount played more games than him and had only one assist in the Premier League play. You know what I mean? It's pretty interesting that everyone is talking about Mason Mount's going to come good when he offered nothing in 14 Premier League games, 20 games a season, one assist, one goal. Anthony has had 17 games a season. He's had 5 goals and 5 assists or something like that. You know, if you add up the goals he scored in the FA Cup, the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, and his assist in all competitions this season, he's done way more than Mason Mount. It's just sad that everyone is, writing him off more than they're writing off some other players. It's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting point to be made. We should be seeing players like Lindelof and Maguire being sold to make cash for other signings. I'm agreeable with that. I'm just thinking that we also need to make sure that we get the right balance in. You know, the payment structures are going to be crucial. The way we get these players out also is going to be crucial for the club. I hear some rumors that Lindelof might be going to Fenerbahce to join Jose Mourinho. Let's see how that goes. It might be somewhere in the region of 9 million euros for the deal. It's going to be cheap, but it's going to get him out of the position, and we're going to have someone replacing him very soon. It's one of those things where you might see one of the youngsters from the academy walking as a fifth or sixth choice central defender. Guys, don't be shocked if you see this happen, because you know what? Already I can confirm to you that Toby Collier will be given an alternate role in the midfield this season. He will probably come in and feature in the domestic cups and maybe as a backup in 1 or 2 games, just to provide like 20 minutes relief at the end of games for players like maybe possibly Ugarte, who's supposed to be coming in, and maybe Casemiro if he actually stays. It's going to be interesting. Yes, Hiddle and man, the payment structures are going to be crucial. Fair play. Big up to you, Brendan. Jeff Steele, big up to you. Whoa! Big up, Jeff Steele. Big up, Broski. 5 memberships came in. Jeff Steele, let me check and see who got these memberships, guys. Let's see. Hold on 1 second as I pull this up. Sorry, I just noticed this, Jeff Steele. Big up to you, my brother. I'm not in the regular studio today, so I don't have the sound effects. But boom, 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 boom. Big up to the legend, Jeff Steele from Down Under. And Thomas Fenius was gifted a membership by Jeff Steele, the Vujonator. Big up to you, my brother. Neil Driscoll, welcome to the party, getting a membership from him as well. Nikki Cadogan and Ed Barrett. Big up to you guys. Hope you guys are well and enjoying your morning. Compo Smurf, they will likely keep money for January. I doubt we will spend everything. Yes, and this is also something that I've been thinking. But I also have been thinking that some of the players who may not leave in the summer window might possibly be planned to go out in January. It could be a two-pronged situation, guys. You know, we might have already spoken to players at the club and said, listen, we will be putting you up for sale this summer. And we might have spoken to some players and said, listen, in January, if you don't perform, you might be on the board. You know what I mean, guys? Yes, Jeff Steele, enjoy their memberships again. And guys, make sure to smash a like and say thank you to Jeff Steele for those memberships. Well, Craig, I think this is something that's going to be happening pretty soon. He definitely needs to turn this season around. He needs to hit the ground running this season. He needs to have a big impact, guys. You know, yeah, Curler, I know he worries you. He worries me as well. And for such a talented player with all the mechanics to be elite, it's kind of frustrating and sad to see him not achieve his pure potential, guys. You know, I feel like, yeah, I don't know if it's him himself, but I think it's more likely some of the injuries that he has been suffering, you know, that has taken away that yard of pace from him recently. That has, you know, kind of made him difficult. Perfect partner for Bruno then. Bruh, I'm telling you. Big up Jamie Wayne. Hope you're good. Big up to you. Good morning. Good morning. Got to go. How is everyone? I think everyone is enjoying the news. Big up to you, Kingdom FC. Good morning to you. I hope you're well. Got off early last night because I'm not well at the moment. Had my blood test done the other day. Doctors deemed me unhealthy. Haha, bollocks. There's no way. Well, Jamie, I hope you get well soon, bro. And maybe if they give you some advice, take some of the advice, bro. But I know you're a healthy guy. I know you're one of those guys that you take care of your health. So I won't be stressing you on that issue. But we need you to be fit and there with us to support. You know what I mean? It's always good to have your company, my brother. Big up to you, Brendan Chappell, coming in. I think the lack of signings we are making now means we're going for the players that still have to come back from the Euros and the Copa. No rush to finalize deals when they are on holiday. 100%. I agree with that, my bro. 100%. Let's get into some other news, guys. And there's some interesting news popping up about one or two of our youngsters. I'm not too happy about this recent news, but you know what? I gotta bring it to you guys anyway. And after that brilliant goal that he scored in the last preseason match, it seems like Joe Hugo will be loaned out after Manchester United's tour of the United States. There's also news that Radak Vitek is also going to be loaned out as well. You know what I mean? But I would say to you guys, as disappointing as it is, it might be for the best of their careers because more game time means they develop into better players. And Manchester United youngsters Radel Vitek and Joe Hugo will both be sent out on loan after getting a chance to shine on this club's preseason tour in the United States. Both players have been key contributors so far in preseason in matches against Rosenborg and Glasgow Rangers. The Red Devils' first match in Norway, a youthful side looked well off the pace and it was only inspired by a performance by the goalkeeper, Vitek, that kept the score down after he made a string of fine saves. Conceding a late goal with the last kick of the game was harsh on him as he played wonderfully. Hugo made his mark last Saturday when he fired in a second half strike against Rangers that he took first time, crashing the ball off the underside of the crossbar, giving his side a 2-0 lead at Murray Field. Manchester Evening News has reported that the goalkeeper Radak Vitek and striker Joe Hegel are set to depart Manchester United on loan after getting a chance in the club's preseason tour of the United States. Both players are set for loan moves 24-25, however, with deals to be confirmed after the tour ends, as the squad will return to the United Kingdom on the 4th of August. Vitek did not get the opportunity to play on Saturday as first-choice keeper Andrew Onana returned, and with Altay Bayindir and Tom Heaton also to come back, his playing time is likely to diminish. Hugo has received 45 minutes of action in both preseason matches to date, but as Rasmus Højlund and new signing Joshua Zirkzee join up with the side, he will clearly see less game time on the pitch. The Czech keeper spent the last half of the season on loan at Accrington Stanley, where he made a strong impression and did not look out of place in men's football. Shrewsbury Town are just one of the clubs who are said to be interested in taking the player on loan next season. Joe Hugo's time in League One with Burton Albion was a little more complicated as he managed only one goal and 3 assists in 18 appearances for the club. He was often on the periphery of the action as well. Nonetheless, the player has spoken in glowing terms of the experience and commented, "It was a great loan getting to a men's first team changing room, having to fight for 3 points constantly in the league was great, and playing Saturday and then Tuesday was tough. But that's what you are here for at a young age." Both at 20 years of age, the two FA Youth Cup winners will aim for a successful loan this season if they are to stand any chance of ever making it at Old Trafford. Former teammates in the academy, Kobe Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho, have both shown if you're good enough, there is a path to the first team for youth at Old Trafford, and one or both players will be keen to follow. Guys, what are your thoughts on this information coming in? Let me know what you are thinking. I hope you're well. Yeah. Stories coming in. Rash does not suit the Ten Hag style. Staying high, he likes the counter. 100%. I've been talking about this for weeks, and I think guys have not been paying attention to this factor about his game. But let's see what happens. We got Ruud van Nistelrooy in. He's a clinical striker. He's very intelligent footballer, a coach himself. Maybe he can change some of Marcus's ways. You know what I mean? I'm always going to give players a second chance, especially when they come to the academy. I do want Marcus Rashford to, maybe find a club that, he could move on and rejuvenate his career. But if he has the stones, if he has the courage and the confidence, and if he can do it, then he could revamp his career right here and achieve his true potential. You know what I mean? Especially with a clinical attacking coach like, Ruud van Nistelrooy at the helm of the attacking situation. So let's see how it goes, guys. I would say give him a second chance. I would have even liked other players to get a second chance, but they have been moved on from the club. And you know how it goes, guys. A guy who goes gym, who's at perfect weight, is unhealthy according with a blood test. How when I train 3 times a week gave me supplements as well. I honestly don't get it. Oh well. Sometimes it mightn't just be that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it could be other little things that are happening that you need to pay attention to. It's not just the physical. Sometimes it's the what you can see and inside. And Roel Hakim Ab Halim, good morning to you, my brother. I hope you're well. Hope I didn't brutalize your name as well, bro. Yeah, Compost. I was kindly in the same boat. I was hoping VTech would have stayed and probably be our backup keeper. I thought that would mean, maybe that Altai was probably going to be moved on, but it seems like he's staying, guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I think a lot of the decisions on the goalkeepers have been coming from the input of Ten Roller in the last couple weeks. He has been overseeing the goalkeepers since he came into the club. And as we know, guys, he's very brilliant and specialized about playing out from the back as a goalkeeper. So this is maybe some choices that he's making as well. You know what I mean? Mark, you do. Thank you so much, bro. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Thanks so much for that, Jamie. Thank you so much, bro. Loans only work if they're going to be starters and not just warm up the bench. Experience abroad would also benefit the British Academy players 100%. I'm thinking it would be nice. Sorry, guys. It's super hot right now in the flat, so I have the window open, but I also forgot that, it's going to be a little bit noisy. So I apologize for that, guys. Yeah, guys, it would be interesting if we can get some of our young players maybe into the French league or even back to La Liga this season, because I think it would bode well for some of them to play in those leagues. They would help them develop, see a different way, maybe add to their game, not just playing in England. You know what I mean? I think some of it is going to be interesting because they already have the background of English football. If they incorporate that with, some other styles, it's definitely going to have some kind of creative boom there to be had. You know what I mean? One more good season, Rashi. Hopefully, man, hopefully. You know what I mean? Let's get into some more other news. And I didn't touch on this topic yet, but I wanted to talk about it today, guys. And there's another topic I'm going to be talking about in the midday. Even though I'm going to give updates today at midday on the football transfers, because there is going to be many today as well. I'm also going to be dropping a short 10-minute video sometime during the course of the day, maybe around 6 p.m. And that's going to be touching on the Enzo issue. Like, to be fair, guys, I don't really want to talk too much about it, but I'm just going to say it. If we're keeping the energy, the entire team needs to be punished, all of them as a team, because you know what? It's a team sport and they all were on the bus. So I'm just going to leave that as that. But I wanted to bring this bit of information to you guys. I know you guys have probably seen this already, but I haven't been able to talk about it. But Dan Ashworth fires ambitious first message at Manchester United after below season standard. 100% the new CEO coming in, and he's the new director of football is coming in, and he's sounding just as cocky and ambitious as our CEO, Barada. These guys are going to be a joy to watch, in my opinion, just because of their personalities as well. I'm liking these kind of guys that back themselves to be amazing. You know what I mean? And Manchester United new leadership will not rest until the club are among the most successful in Europe again, says sporting director Dan Ashworth. This is the kind of things that fans want to hear. United have been in the shadow of local rivals Manchester City for the last decade since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson as manager. British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe hopes to change that after purchasing a minority stake in United, which gives his Ineos group control over football operations at Old Trafford. And earlier this year set out his determination to knock City and Liverpool off their perch. Ashworth, who officially took up his new role to start this month, says it's simply not good enough that United remain a commercial powerhouse. They must achieve sustained sporting success as well. 100%, guys. 100%. This is the kind of thing you want to hear, man. This remains one of the biggest football clubs in the world, but that is not our measure of success. He said in a message to supporters published on the United website on Monday, the focus is getting back to being among the best on the pitch. On the pitch. It won't happen overnight, but together with new Chief Executive Officer Omar Barada and his new leadership team, we will not rest until we achieved it. You know what I mean, guys? This is what you want to hear. This is the kind of drive, the kind of stones you want from the guys in your leadership. You know what I mean? The focus is getting back to being one of the best on the pitch. This line for me is so amazing and it speaks so much volume. I can't see past anything else, guys. I'm enjoying this. We are all clear that last season fell below the required standards in the Premier League and the Champions League. But by winning the FA Cup in such an impressive fashion, our players and staff showed that what they are capable of when everyone pulls together and performs to their potential. Our collective challenge is to reach those levels much more consistently. 100%. This guy is speaking some facts. United have already been busy in the summer transfer market, bringing in Dutch attacker Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna and highly rated French centre-back Leny Yoro from Lille. There have been a number of outgoings too as well, including Mason Greenwood to Marseille, Willy Kwambala to Villarreal, Donny van der Beek to Girona, and free transfer moves for Omari Forson and Charlie McNeil. The first bit of business for Ineos to attend to, though, was making a decision on the future of Erik ten Hag. Our first big decision, says Dan Ashford, this summer was to extend Erik ten Hag's contract as men's first team manager to June 2026, reflecting our strong belief in him as one of Europe's top coaches and the partner we want to continue working with to get the team back to the levels expected. It's my job, together with technical director Jason Wilcox, to create the right support structures and environment around Erik, the staff, and the players to make that possible. I can feel a strong sense of energy and determination around the group as the players and staff return fresh from their breaks, including some exciting new additions to the squad and the coaching team. And as you can see, Erik ten Hag there with one of our brightest new additions right now, Leny Yoro. Big up to Leny Yoro. You know what I mean? Manchester United have already been busy in the transfer market this summer. Manchester, you know what I mean? Ashford said the 50 million project to redevelop the club's Carrington training base would benefit all United teams, including the women's setup. And guys, speaking on the women's setup, they have also signed quite a few players this summer. You know what I mean? They have already signed the likes of Melvin Millard, you know, the French striker who joined us on loan last season. Also, Petter Jansen comes in from Wolfsburg, and Trotman, the young Norwegian striker who comes from highly rated, coming from Brighton. A definite swoop by Manchester United for the women's team, who are also going to see some other players come in to bolster their ranks with the outgoings of Mary Earps, as well as captain Katie Zellum and striker Luisa Garcia, guys. So just to keep you guys updated as well on that, I will also be bringing transfer news on the women's team as well, and I would also be bringing updates on the youth team very regularly this season. However, Ashworth says, women's football is an important part of my remit in the past roles with Newcastle, Brighton, Hove and Albion, and the FA, and it will be the same at Manchester United. Women's football is arguably the most exciting area of growth in the global game, and we want to be a part of that. Last season's FA Cup win was a fantastic landmark for our first major women's trophy, and now we want to build on that with Coach Mark Skinner, his staff, and the players. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? It's a holistic approach going on right now, how we're dealing with everything. You know, we're looking at it holistically. I know there was some reports and, you know, there was some oversight, but I think the structure is focused on rectifying that problem that they may have had oversight on and correcting it right now. Big up to you guys coming in. Big up, big up, big up. Compos is coming out. We have football minds in charge now, so I'm certain these youths will be going to teams that suit them and they will play. Wasn't the case always before. 100%. Brendan Chappell is coming in. I think Man United also need to scout the clubs they send loan players to see whether the club actually needs the player or not. That's a great point, Brendan. Amazing. Bro, you know what you be saying, bro. You know, we might disagree sometimes, but you definitely know what you be saying, man. I've been thinking about this for months. You know, we definitely need to find out what we're doing, what these clubs are doing, what kind of players they are lacking, and use that, you know, as to our advantage so we can get our players developed best. You know, if a club needs a defender, we don't send them a striker. If a club needs an attacking midfielder, we don't send them a young DM. You know what I mean? Big up for that. 39 likes like Scotty McTominay. McDonaldinho business. You know, McDonaldinho might be leaving this summer, guys, and it's going to be interesting. But let's see how that goes because, as you know, guys, you know, Scott McTominay had a very, very good season last season. He scored 10 goals, his highest in his career so far. But there's interest coming in from Galatasaray, West Ham, and also possibly Tottenham Hotspurs, guys. You know what I mean? There are some reports that Tottenham Hotspurs might be willing to sign the player for somewhere in the region between 30 to 40 million pounds, and that's going to work very well for our coffers. You know what I'm saying? And the longer they take to sign a midfielder, is the more likely Scott McTominay will be their prime target. So, guys, stay tuned. There's going to be more updates coming on Scott McTominay as we go through this transfer window. Big up to you and good morning to you, Richard Hawkins. Hope you're well. Brandon Lewis, how you doing, buddy? Are you good? Hope you're well, man. What's going on with your plans today? Are you enjoying the day so far? Dan Ashworth been working his entire adult life to get to this position. I doubt he will want to let it go. Guys, you know what I mean? It seems like we got the dream team. We formed up Voltron in the structure. You know, we got Dan Ashworth, we got Omar Barada, we got Jason Wilcox, we got Christopher Favell coming in. You know what I mean? And they're all surrounding Ten Hag. You know, we got Van Nistelrooy to back him up, as well as Rennie Hacker. It's going to be an interesting season this season, to be fair, guys. Very, very interesting season. Gotta be number one on Forbes list is shocking. 100%. 100%. You know, let's hope that Ashworth and Barada are allowed to do their jobs to the fullest year in, year out. We need this kind of summer every season, not just 1, 2, or 3. You know what I mean? And I fully agree with you, my brother Compost. You know, the one thing I'm going to say about this Compost is that I'm going to say this. Don't expect us to buy 5, 6 players next summer because we have a lot of talent in the academy, and I know they all aren't going to make it, but I definitely think we're going to see 2 to 4 to 5 of these academy players join the club, be promoted into the first team, and definitely do their best. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes because if you look at things now, we also next summer we're probably going to have a lot of money made from selling players because it's not only these first set of academy players that are garnering interest all across Europe. Remember, these youngsters just want a treble. So there's a lot of interest coming in our academy at this current moment, guys. Don't forget that. You know, big up to you, Royden Force. We also need to sell for squad places. Yeah, it's going to be interesting how that goes. You know what I mean? Good morning to you, Jarvis. How you doing, my bro? I don't know if you're busy. If you want to come in, I'll drop the link just in case if you want to come in and have your say. You know, I have like 10 minutes before I have to go. So, you know, if you want, come in and give your say on the news that I've been covering. I hope you're well, my brother. Like your tan that I saw yesterday. Big up to you, Alien Tenno. How are you doing, broski? Are you well? Hope you're well, bro. Richard Hawkins is coming in. Mark, you aware that we had to pay 20% of Greenwood's sale to Getafe as part of the deal Richard Arnold negotiated that we would pay Getafe 20% if we sold him, if they took him on loan. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Richard Hawkins, and you know what? I'm actually cool about that. Because look, think about it this way. We weren't gonna play him, the fans didn't want to see him, right? And how are we gonna sell him? Are we just supposed to, you know, cancel his contract? I mean, it's something of a handshake, my brother. You know what I mean? They gave this guy consistent game time, and as we all can say, after 2 seasons not playing professional football, He was in the top 10 best attackers in Spain last season. That has to show for something. That has to show about his generational talent. You know what I mean? And we was able to get 28 million pounds for a player. We got more money offered for Mason Greenwood than for Jadon Sancho. You know what I mean? So technically, we should be thanking Getafe for their good faith because the club took him in. Their fans showed him love. They protected him throughout the season. And you know what? He gave them a good return. 15 GA. I think that was decent return for him. He was their best attacker all season. And in my honest opinion, I feel like 2.8 million pounds is small money to give to these guys. You know what I mean? No, that's 10%. They got 5.6 million then. Something like that they got 5.6 million. It's not too bad, guys. I think it's hand in hand. They did us a favor. We do them a favor. It's just like that, and we keep it moving. You know what I mean? Plus, we also have that 50% sell-on clause with Monaco, so with Marseille, I mean. So you know what I mean? We still could get some more money. You never know. He could bang in the French league, and someone could come in and buy him for 100 million, and we get 50. You know what I mean? If Mctomminay leaves, I'm going to jump out the window. Good job. I'm in a ground floor flat. Bro, I was now getting really worried because, we have our meetings to meet at the Bishop Blaze, have some drinks and watch some games. You can't be jumping out the window, brother. You can't, man. What's going on with you? Big up, guys. Smash those likes. Don't forget, if you're in here, be here. You know what I mean? Take your time to smash the like, help the channel grow. And if you've never seen my channel and you're on MUFC Realist TV, guys, just drop it in the comments. You should see it in the description. You should be seeing my channel there. Smash a like and subscribe. It's definitely helping the channel grow. And you will be able to be kept updated with all the morning updates and daily news for this transfer window and the season going forward. And I don't only cover the male team. This season, I'm covering the women's team as well as the youth teams for Manchester United. And I'm going to be mixing in some little reports on some wonder kids around Europe, around CONCACAF, and the world. So, guys, stay tuned. This season is going to be big, rife with information about footballing talent and football. Wow. Good morning, Neil Driscoll. Hope you're well, buddy. You got a membership this morning from Thomas Savedas this morning, my brother. Hope you're well. Doom. Compost Smith is coming in. I'm not expecting us to buy 5 to 6 players every season. I'm more pointing towards the fact that we are cutting the slackers and addressing what we need. Yeah, 100%. But guys, I know a lot of people thought that, our scouting department was trash for the last couple of years. But I'm here to tell you guys that what was trash was actually the recruiting section of our department, because they never listened to the scouts. They were shopping based on selling kits on the players who had big names that would sell a lot of shirts. They weren't shopping based on the profiles that the scouts were working on. So now that we got Christopher Vavell and we got the likes of Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada, they're going to resort back to scouting profiles, back to the players that we definitely need, and not the ones that are just going to sell shirts. Because you know what? If a player comes in here and does really well, he is going to sell shirts. Guys, I wanted to take a slight little, small little step into some banter by our banter king. Right now, I have to call him that, and it's Alejandro Garnacho, guys. He's been on vacation, and he can't help but send some banter to Phil Foden. So I was just perusing, and I found this story, and I just found it really interesting after he jokes about the 007 boat photo in Mykonos. Alejandro Garnacho, bro, this guy is having a laugh, man. You know what I mean? Let's get into this interesting little sidetrack, as I would call it. You know what I mean? Garnacho is keeping his followers up to date on his travels after competing in the Copa America. The talented winger was part of Argentina team that won the tournament. And yes, guys, he's also part of the team that was on the bus. Whether he was participating or not, he was still there. While holidaying in Greek off the island of Mykonos with girlfriend Eva Garcia and son Enzo, Garnacho shared several images of the family, including one on a yacht featuring James Bond 007 logo. The United supporters were impressively quick to notice the numbers were representatives of Foden stats at the Euro 2024. 0 goals, 0 assists in 7 games. They used it as bait to joke about the City midfielder. A lot of jokes on X point to how Foden appears to be on holiday with Garnacho, and we are certain that the United forward will find it funny once he's aware of the 007 reference, and that's Foden's stats this summer. Big up, guys, for that. Let's go in. I'm going to touch on some other reports, guys. I wanted to bring you some information about Vanderson. You know what I mean? He's one of our targets that we are looking at currently at this moment, and it's going to be interesting to see if we get that deal over the line. Let's jump into that story really quickly, guys, because Manchester United is heavily interested currently in Vanderson. I know a lot of people are not talking about Vanderson, guys, but he's a possible target for Manchester United, and he's a very good player. He's good going forward. He's very good defensively. His balance, I would say, is better in terms of attacking and defending than Wan Bissaka. So in my honest opinion, he could be an upgrade. I don't know what you guys think, but let's read the article. Let me tell you a bit about him, and then maybe you could understand and you might be able to make your own determination. Manchester United would consider a move for the Brazilian right-back Vanderson as a possible replacement should Wan Bissaka depart the club this summer. Wan Bissaka, 26, has only 12 months remaining on his current deal at Old Trafford, following the triggering of an automatic one-year extension in December. You know what I mean? The former Crystal Palace player fell down the ranks under Erik ten Hag last season, with Diogo Dalot firmly establishing himself as the Dutchman's first-choice right-back. Dalot's performances were a rare bright spot on an area of the pitch which gave United fans nightmares all year. The Portuguese international would end up winning the Players' Player of the Season award at the end of the season. At 25 years of age, with a technical skill set which makes him much more suitable to Ten Hag style of football, Dalot will retain his place ahead of Wan Bissaka next year, outside of injuries. As such, United are believed to be open to selling the English fullback and should a suitable offer comes in. Reports have suggested a fee in the region of 15 to 20 million would be sufficient for the club to sanction his sale, but they are not actively looking to make this happen. West Ham have been the most strongly linked with a move, and there is a feeling that Wan Bissaka would be able to rediscover the form which made him so highly rated at Crystal Palace at a club lower down the league, playing a more defensive style of football. If this deal was to happen, however, Sky Sports reveals that United considers Monaco's Vanderson as a possible replacement. Plenty of info on here. Man United might be including 2 Monaco players, Youssef Fofana emerging as another player they're considering for the centre midfield. Vanderson a possible replacement, as reported by Florian Plettenberg. Guys, Vanderson is an interesting player. He's 23 years old. He turned 23 last month. He ranks very highly for defensive actions in a similar manner to Wan Bissaka, but offers much more of an attacking threat than the 26-year-old. Vanderson's contract with Monaco expires in June 2027, and there's no release clause in his current deal. As such, a move for the right back is likely to be a costly one, as the French club are under no pressure at all to sell. Tottenham Hotspurs are reportedly also interested in the 23-year-old should the London club sell Emerson Royal to AC Milan. Reports by Sky also reveal that United hold an interest in Vanderson's teammate at Monaco, which is Youssef Fofana. It's going to be interesting to see which one of these deals get done, guys, because as you know, United are on the hunt this summer, and we're moving like the great white sharks. We're looking for players, and we're not afraid to piss anyone off in the way to do it. Guys, some other breaking news coming in. I'm going to be bringing to you guys right now. Some talks are coming out. I know there have been a lot of recent reports coming in about a striker situation, but I'm going to tell you that we have discussed a move internally for Ivan Toney, who has been speaking since the Euros and saying he would like to join Manchester United. It's very interesting to see that because, recently last season he was talking about Arsenal and possibly Chelsea and all these kind of things, but now he's saying he wants United. Let's see what they have discussed. You know what I mean? The 23-year-old striker joined the Red Devils from Bologna. We're talking about Joshua Zirkzee. He's here to back up Rasmus Højlund in the number 9 position, whilst having 2 recognized centre forwards, obviously better than one. An injury to either could leave United in the same situation they spent much of last season. Now, this article is not really taking into account that Ethan Wheatley has been promoted as an alternate striking option and will be remaining at the club to provide backup for our main two strikers next season. So let's continue as well. With the new format to the Europa League promising or threatening to add up to 17 games on United already busy calendar, it would be ideal if the club could also count in a third option. There are no obvious breakthrough stars in the academy. The promising Ethan Whitley does not, he does, in well, according to this journalist, he does not look ready yet. You know what I mean? But the Athletic are saying that one option being considered internally is the Brentford striker Ivan Toney. The outlet reports that Manchester United have discussed a move for him internally, and reporter Adam Leventhal believes that the battle to sign the proven Premier League goal scorer could kick off at any moment. Leventhal claims that while Brentford do not need to sell the striker, the 28-year-old's contract expires next month. Rather than leaving on a free transfer in 11 months, Brentford would prefer to sell Toney this summer for what they regard as fair market value. The Bees have already signed Toney's potential replacement in Igor Thiago, who has scored a brace on his debut in a friendly this week. Source, who remains anonymous to protect relationships close to the player, also regard this possible claim before the storm. It was reported a few days ago that the London club has slashed their asking price for Toney from 80 million to 50 million pounds. It is not an unreasonable amount for the 28-year-old, but it could be too much for United given their struggles to stay within Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. However, if the Bees indeed do not need to sell him to maintain their own solvency, they might be happy to consider a deal spread out over a number of years, which could give United some breathing space and pave the way for what could be an excellent piece of business. Now, in my honest opinion, I'm not too sure about that move, but at the same time, I think he definitely strengthens our squad depth. It's going to be interesting to see if we make this move happen, guys. Let's see what's happening. What are you guys thinking, guys? Will Hannibal be sold this summer, and what price could we get for him? Now, I didn't want to talk too much about Hannibal because the news is kind of negative on his behalf. He did not have much game time at all. In fact, he was ostracized by the Sevilla team and coach after being very much rowdy and lacking respect. You know, he went there with the Billy's big bollocks, and he didn't act with any humility, and he sort of disrespected the coach and some of the staff at Sevilla, and he was banished from the team and set to train by himself for the majority of the season. Now, I don't like to say these things about young players, especially even if they're United players or not. And I'm saying that this young Hannibal needs to learn some sense of maturity in the way he expresses his emotions. He's a very, very talented young player, but his emotions take away from his footballing ability. He's too aggressive mentally. You know what I mean? Like, he needs to find a balance where he can keep a calm, because when he's calm, he's amazing on the ball. But when he loses his cool, he's like having a Rojo playing in the midfield. It's mad. You know what I mean? There are some reports, though, that Hannibal would be used as a bargaining chip in one of the deals that we're doing. I would possibly put my money on possibly PSG. And if not PSG, guys, I would say somewhere in Spain. Likely for a deal that we might be interested in doing to bring Miguel Gutierrez as the left back. But, it's left to be seen. There are some interest. There's also some interest coming from in the Dutch league, somewhere in like the likes of PSV might be interested as well. So let's see how the summer progresses. Deals for some of these players might be going on to the end of August, especially if it's the outgoings. But never fear, guys. There has been said rumors that United plan to axe a few more players. I think it's a multiple of 3 or more. So let's see how that goes. Brendel Chapel is coming in. If a club like Getafe don't benefit from a sale like this, why would they even give certain players a chance? It's a business at the end of the day. Loan should be a win-win for all. 100%, Brendan. 100%. If we didn't send Greenwood to Getafe, what would the offers have been this summer? Certainly not close to 30 million. Probably not even close to 10. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, Mark. He's our player. They were getting him on a loan. But, I know you might think that, bro, but think about the outcry. Think about the fact that a minority group of fans protested this youngster out, ruined our transfer window last summer, and we had no choice but to shift focus get him out and deal with the backlash of it all. He was not going to get game time. So what was going to be the profitable situation for the club? And the club developed this guy since he was 11 years old. And if they weren't allowed to back him and play him, then they obviously needed to get a situation where they could obviously keep his value and move him on. And and this is what most of fans wanted. So we should not be complaining about a measly 5.8 million pounds, bro. That's money. That's no money to be mad about, bro. 100%. You know what I mean? The world is covered in 2/3 of water. Stephanie covers the rest in United chat rooms. 100%. I agree with that statement. Stephanie does cover it. Big up to Neil and Thomas. You know what I mean? How much they want for Vanderson? He looks okay. I'm hearing some reports somewhere that it's a French club. Monaco loves to sell for big prices. I heard that the deal could be done somewhere in the region for 30 million pounds, but I don't know. I can't guarantee that. I'm waiting for some confirmation. You're gonna get that explanation and a more detailed report on Vanderson in my next video, which will be coming just about 1 p.m. UK. I will be able to give you a lot more in-depth price stats for some of the new targets that are being reported right now. Excuse me, sorry. So, but I do think it's definitely going to be somewhere in the region of maybe, let's say, 15 to 25 million pounds. It could be cheaper, it could be a lot cheaper, but at the same time, let's see how it goes. I definitely think it might be around there because I do know for a fact that they paid 11 million euros for him to come from Gremio Academy. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. You know what I mean? That's just my only thoughts, guys. So when I get the finite information, I'll bring it to you guys. Hey Angie, hope you're well. Big up to you. 46 likes, guys. Keep it coming. Guys, don't forget, when every time you smash a like, the channel gets suggested to another possible viewer, another huge football fan, possibly another Man United fan. So let's get them in here, guys. You know what I mean? Let's let the channel grow. Let the channel grow, whether you being on my channel, Mark, an MUFC fan, or you're on MUFC Realist TV, guys. Smash those likes. Hit them until the button breaks. Big up, big up. Good morning to you, Angie. I hope you're well. Big up to the VR room as well. Richard Hawkins, I'm going to stay by the phone in case ETH gives you a ring. What, are you hoping to go on loan as well, my brother? Tony would get us top 4 guaranteed, in my opinion. When he talks, he sounds like potential trouble. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that. I think he's a little bit Billy Big Bollocks too much, but he's a very talented striker. Nevertheless, you know what I mean? He will definitely improve our attacking line. I'm just very scared about his betting habits. You know what I mean? It's a tough habit to kick. We've seen what happened with Tonali, and it could be something that might be happening, but that could happen to him in the future. I definitely hope that's not the case, though. But you never know, guys. Tony would probably be a deadline day signing for someone. 100%. Wan Bissaka is the best one-on-one defender in the world. I'm torn between keep or sell. Well, for me, Jarvis, I like Wan Bissaka's one-on-one tackling ability, but he doesn't track defenders for my part. I think he doesn't do well in tracking defenders, so it gives it a little bit of a difficult situation for me. You know what I mean? I'm torn between him as well. I think his attacking side of the game was blossoming in the last 2 seasons, so I'm kind of like, what if it does it evolve more this season if we keep him? Maybe we should keep him. I'm pretty much a little bit like, the devil you know rather than the devil you don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's one of those things. Guys, listen to Angie. Don't forget to smash that like button. Please share and subscribe, to the best MUFC channel on YouTube. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? Big up. I'm blushing. Oh, big up, Mick. The gaffer is here. How you doing, Mick? I hope you're well this morning. Wagwan KD. You good, broski? What's going on with your day this morning? Hope you're well, my brother. I hope. Oh, there's some other news that might be coming in. There's some other young players into the squad. Guys, I did tell you guys yesterday about the youngsters in the squad. And I told you that there was some news that they were promoting Toby Collier into the midfield role as a rotational squad option. He's already given his opportunity to be in the USA Tour, and he's already been told that he will be part of the senior team next season. Guys, I'm going to ask you a question. You can drop it in the comments today now, or you can, think about it now and maybe drop it in the comments on my community page or on the MUFC Realist community page. And these are the two questions, guys, right? Let me type it in the chat so you guys could, and I can put it up. Who, if we do not sign Tony, right? And who is your choice? Do we bring do we no, it's not the Tony one. It's not it's a defensive one. Do we bring Harry Amas in as a backup this season, or do we bring young Murray in as a backup? And I'm talking about the two left backs who compete for the position in the under 18s. They both were very, very instrumental in us winning the youth treble this season. We've seen them both play 45 minutes twice in the preseason, and they will be doing it continuously going into the next few games. Which one of them would you choose to give a chance to, and which one would you guys send on loan? Will it be Murray, or will it be young Harry Amas, guys? Smashing those likes. Thank you so much, you guys. 50 likes. Let's get 50 more. 100%. Big up, big up. We're going grimy this morning. I got 2 minutes, so let me get into this last bit of news, guys. I wanted to bring this information, and guys, I will never, ever leave out the women's team, nor will I leave out the youth team. So I have to bring this information to you. I know some of you guys might not be, following the women's team week in, week out. But guys, the fixtures for the Man United 2024-25 Women's League Super League season is out right now, guys. I'm going to be covering some of these games live on my channel, Mark and MUFC fans. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's going to be very exciting times as we're covering the women's team, the men's senior team, and the youth under 18s as well. And some of these fixtures are going to be coming thick and fast for the women's team, guys. Mark Skinner is set to lead the Red Devils into a third campaign, having finished a disappointing fifth. Last season, we were on top of the league until the last two games, and two mistake performances kind of crashed our season last season, where we dropped 6 points and plummeted to fifth. The club season starts at home with West Ham, followed by an away fixture at Brighton and home for Albion, who we've just signed their young striker. You know what I mean? Things get a little bit more tricky to the end of the season as they face neighborhood rivals in their final home game. The first Manchester's derby is in January, before making the journey to North London to face Arsenal on the last day of play. Here are United's women's scheduled live. Live TV broadcasts will be chosen to select WSL games throughout the season. Dates and kickoff times remain subject to change. All times will be listed. Guys, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. You know what I mean? Oh, where did they put it? Hold on. We're going to be checking out some of these guys. Guys, so you know what? Stay tuned as I'm going to be bringing this live for you guys this season. The women's team is going to be live on my channel. We're going to be seeing lots of Ella Toon and that lovely smile of hers when she scores. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting, guys. So stay tuned for all of this. What are your thoughts so far, guys, on the possible players coming in? I spoke earlier on about Zavi Simons possibly coming to United. I've been telling you guys for more than a week now that it's a loan with an option to buy. Lots of people were doubting me, but it seems like it's going to be materializing. I'm trying to manifest the De Ligt deal because, we need him, guys. We need him. He's a very important cog in our wheel. And De Ligt should be coming in during the course of this week before we leave for the USA Tour. There's also some information coming in about Manuel Ugarte. The deal is very close. United are in a strong position, guys. Manuel Ugarte has put in a transfer request. This makes things very difficult for PSG as it will no longer allow them to maintain the highest value that they are trying to achieve. I know the reports have not actually followed this trend yet, but look in the next coming 24 to 48 hours that you will be seeing a lot of this information coming out. Big up to you, Lewis Clark, coming in. I need a fan of Tony. Doesn't score enough goals and plays similar role as Xerxes, but I have a far more growth with our new striker. I didn't like this betting rules he broke. Not for me. I could understand that too, Lewis, bro. I'm the same. Flex Mugarista coming in. Hannibal, we need to take him to another loan season. Yeah, I think he's gonna. But I think he's gonna be sold, my bro. I think there's already something in the works for him to be sold. You know what I mean? Send him to SPL so he can run around and kick people there. Come on, Compost. Be nice, bro. Be nice. Tony, too, we don't need him. We'll be better with our strikers. 51 likes, guys. Keep it coming. Big up for that. Richard Hawkins, no mark, not a minority. I would never want him at the club. I'm never going to have watched United. And I have going, what? I have going to watch United since 1966. I mean, Richard, that's your opinion, bro. Big up to you. I can't disagree with you, man. Like that's how you feel, 100%. And you know what? I could only say that my view is my view, your view is your view, and we could agree to disagree. And no, with no intended disrespect in any way, my bro. You know what I mean? I just had a different view. Sorry. Francis Lincoln is coming in. I will be glad seeing Richard Rios play for my darling United this season. He's a fantastic player. And yes, guys, talking about Richard Rios. Yes, I talked about Richard Rios yesterday. I know quite a bit of reports are trying to downplay our interest in Richard Rios, guys. But it has been said that United are ready to make a £17 million bid for the player coming from for the player. And it's really interesting, guys, if this really happens, because you know what? A lot of people are not sure what position he plays. He's not a DM. He's a box-to-box midfielder, very, very physical one at that. He will be coming in as possibly a backup or replacement to the possible reports that you've been hearing recently about Mason Mount and the club being open to him possibly leaving this summer. I think that might be a case. It might, if it happens, it might be at the back end of the window as well. But guys, it's going to be very interesting to see what Manchester United does because, as you know, there's lots of reports coming in, not just about Richard Rios, guys, but there's other players being linked to. I know we have been linked to Zubamendi, guys, but I would say this: Zubamendi has came out in a recent public speaking and said that he does not want to leave his boyhood club of Real Sociedad. He wants to stay one more season before considering or contemplating a move in Spain or outside. So it might be something that, guys, you might have to take with a pinch of salt when you hear news and links to Zubamendi. I think it's going to take a massive convincing. And when I say a massive convincing, I mean a very huge weekly salary to probably change his mind. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to move. He has rejected the likes of Arsenal, rejected the likes of Liverpool. He has been rejected clubs left, right, and center. I know we have got the one up on Real Madrid, my guys. But, keep it calm. Keep it calm. Let's see how it progresses. I think he's a very interesting player, terrific on the ball, very good defensively, someone I would definitely like to have in the club. But you know what? I think maybe settling for a £17 million Palmeiras player in the likes of Richard Rios might be a better deal for the now. Maybe we could hunt him next season. Because you know what? I think Toby Collier provides a very similar profile to Zubamendi, although he might not be on the high scale as Zubamendi currently right now. He may not have the experience as well. Flex Mugaritsa is coming in watching from Kenya. Big up to you, my brother. You know I'm streaming from Germany, but I'm also from Trinidad and Tobago, bro. So you know how it is, my bro. Big up, big up, big up. Richard Hawkins is coming in. Tony is a very talented striker, but only in the right formation. That could be very interesting. Hey, Locker45, what's good? Morning to the squad. Big up to the chat room from Locker45 coming in. Big up to everyone. If you need to slide tackle so much, it means you're making many mistakes in the build-up. 100%. Not sure who you're referring to, my bro, but it's possible. Let's see. 18 likes. Let's get to probably a Diego Dallo or maybe an Anthony. Smash those likes, people. You know what I mean? The best news, 100%. 19. Yeah, we're getting up there. Dwight York's former number. You know what I mean? Another Trinidadian that played for United. Big up, big up, big up. You know how it is. That's good. Toby looked very calm on the ball. Yes. And Joe Blackman is saying he would have Amas. Big up to you, broski. Richard Hawkins is saying Murray looked more comfortable on the ball than Harry. 100%. 100%. I think Murray looked really good. Murray is mint, says Stephanie, and Amas is sweet Haribo. Big up, Steph. I think only you can say that. Diego Dallo is in the building. Speaking about betting, Paqueta could be in some real mess. His career could ending punishment is a huge possibility. Tony and Talami similarly bet on a match outcomes. Seems Lucas was taking bookings for cash. Whoa. That's not good news at all, bro. Even as a rival fan, you know, a player of that ability losing his career based on stupid things like that, bro, that makes no sense. You know what I mean? Football already pays so much, buddy, and you're on the top. You're in one of the top teams in world football, man. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Big up, big up. Abdullah Irwin is coming in. Ivan Toney and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have been discussed as potential targets for Manchester United. There is scope for the club to add another attacker before the window shuts. Well, Abdullah, thank you so much for this introduction, bro. I was just speaking about Ivan Toney, but I did not bring the news in on Dominic Calvert-Lewin because I think he's honest to God rubbish. I would not even mention him along in the same sentence with Manchester United. He's a garbage striker. I would never take him at the club. And I'm sorry, but in some instances, I think some players it's better not be spoken about. You don't want to give that energy into the universe. You don't want it. Trust me, we don't want that injury-prone Calvert-Lewin come to Manchester United, guys. He or was a very good player in the first few seasons of him breaking into the Premier League, but since then he's been injury prone. He's probably played less games than Luke Shaw. I definitely would not be taking him as an option. You know what I mean? Yeah, KD, I think that's all of us right now. Can't wait to hear that we are here we go on Matthijs de Ligt. It's going to be interesting to see if he comes in. Big up to you, Abdullah Irwan. Big up the channel, he says. Smash the likes up and all the friends. Good morning. I'm so hoping and praying we get Ugarte and Simons. Well, Angie, your hope and your prayers might be fulfilled before the week is out. There are some interesting reports coming in Germany that Zavi Simons is said to be still mulling over his choices. And guys, if he really wanted Germany, why would you be mulling still? Obviously it's because United are making a deal as hard for him to refuse, you know. But Ugarte deal, guys, Ugarte has put in a transfer request. I reported that yesterday. It's going to be interesting to see how PSG react to this, which it means that it blows them out of the water. We know they wanted 50 million euros for this deal, but they are not going to be able to get that anymore since the player has placed a transfer request yesterday. I know a lot of people aren't reporting on this, but this is the happening, guys. Trust me. Trust me when I say this. KD, forget it. I mean, even if I don't appreciate Tony, of course, I'm never going to say he doesn't score enough goals because the guy, he's a very clinical player. Oh, 100%, Mark. Agree to disagree. Yeah, bro, big up, big up. You know what I mean? Angie, Richard Rios are dreams. He's going to be very good. He's a feisty South American. He's very good a very, very good ball progressor. I'm excited to see if we do get him into the deal. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, bro. I definitely watch the women's game, bro. Like I watch the women's game all the time, bro. Like I'm a big fan of Hinata and Gisi. I think they're amazing. I really, really like Luisa Garcia. It's very disappointing to see her leave. I'm not too disappointed to see Mary Earps go. Last season, for me, a lot of the mistakes that she made last season, for me, kind of cost us the Premier League last season in one of the games against PSG. She made some terrible mistakes in that game. And I would say this, PSG deserves to be investigated for match fixing because one of their players like literally put a boot to one of our players' faces and she was not even carded. The goalkeeper dropped the ball for a goal and then she stopped the game protesting and the referee didn't send her off. In fact, she gave the United player a yellow card for not even touching her. The United player did not even touch the French goalkeeper, and they disallowed 2 goals for United. It was a disgusting game to watch, and I am very disappointed in the way that it went. But you know what I mean? The game was in France, and the referee seemed to be French. It was just one of those things. You know what I mean? Yeah, Zubamendi would be an awesome signing, almost like a Carrick style, if he would be willing to leave Spain. That would be amazing. Big up to Anraya Daniela. Hope you're well, my bro. Big up to you. Good morning. Good morning. Kenny Fan TV coming in. Guys, I'm about to end the stream. I would like to thank you all so much for coming and joining me this morning. I hope that I covered as much information that you guys were looking for this morning. Emmanuel Gabe, I was just giving you an update on Ugarte. I just give a slight recap. You know what I mean? I just said to you guys that Ugarte put in a transfer request, so it changes the dynamic that we have currently ongoing with PSG. It's going to force them now to take into account the fact that he wants to move and they cannot hold him back once that transfer request is put in. So they might have to come down to United's level to meet in the middle for a deal. So look out in the next 24 hours. That deal is definitely going to be something that is progressing. 60 likes, guys. Come on. Smash that like button. 100%, guys. Rude's clearly turned Simon head, in my opinion. And that's what I've been thinking as well. You know what I mean? When Rude came in, I was like, we're going to get Simons. When Rene Hacker came in, I'm thinking if we wanted to get Julian Timber's twin brother at CDM, we would get him. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys know who Quinton Timber is, but he's very interesting a player as well. KD is coming in. I was quite disappointed when James left, but I guess family pull is strong. Would enjoy beating her in the FA Cup final. 100%, bro. 100%. 100%. Enjoy beating her in the FA Cup final. Question. Casemiro, Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan Bissaka, Rashford, Sancho, and McTominay is still here. How are we going to compete in the league with all of them in out the squad? Why do we struggle to sell? Well, Jarvis, in a lot of those cases, I would say for quite a few of those players, it would be the fact that they have astronomical wages and not the performance to back it. You know, Marcus Rashford had a brilliant season 22-23, but he followed that up with an absolute stinker. That's something that, you know, United have to be looking at. This new regime is definitely monitoring these things. We should have sold them on a high. You know what I mean? We bought Casemiro over the odds, you know, probably at a situation where he was in the twilight of his career. And it's interesting that, you know, his legs went so soon. You know, he was the best player in our squad in the midfield when he came in that season. He helped us to a third place finish and 2 cup finals, but after that, the drop-off was ridiculous. Luke Shaw has never been able to maintain his fitness over the course of a season. He has played less games than Anthony Martial and has been at the club for 2 more seasons. And it's just interesting to see how he's still at the club. With Lindelof, I think it's a weird one. You know, 1 minute he shows a good season, next minute he shows bad performances. He wasn't bought for really a huge price, and he's not on astronomical wages, so I think it's a weird one with him. But I think if we, to the back on of this window, 3 or 4 of those players would be leaving the club this summer. McTominay, I would definitely have to say, is because of his work ethic and his mentality. I think he would be good to any team. He's a player that has the right mentality, the right attitude, and the right energy all the time, but he just doesn't have the ability. And that's one of those things that disappoints me, guys. Big up to you, Jarvis, for that question. We've got to get rid of McTominay. He always gets in the way of our strikers taking over and messing up. Big up for that, Angie. Big up for that. Yeah, guys, sorry, I got to end the stream. I have to go. But I love spending the mornings with you guys. I will be back later on at 1:30 UK time in the afternoon to give you guys the midday update with all the news that are coming out in Germany and around. And maybe I might be able to bring you some all teams agreed information. I'm hoping on that today. But you know what, guys? Thank you so much. Joe Blackman, big up to you. Richard Hawkins, Abdullah Irwan, Angie MUFC, Compo Smurf, Araya Diala. Big up to you, KD. Of course. Hats off to Jarvis Cocker as usual. Big up to you, Mick. Big up to all the guys coming in. Big up to everyone. Big up to you, Stephanie Griffith. Big up to you, Compo Smurf. Certainly a big up to Mr. Neil Driscoll as always. Big up to you, Jeff Steele. I hope you're great and enjoy your day down under. It might be a late time, so I think you might be sleeping. Big up to you, Brendan Chappelle. Big up to you, Kenny Fan TV. Big up to Alien Tano. Big up to all of you guys coming in. Rand and Lewis, I hope you have a great start to your day, my buddy. Big up to you, Jamie Wayne. I hope you get well soon. You know what I mean? Big up to you, Anural Hakim. Big up to you, Story, Mental Ball Game, Brendan Chappelle, Wizza, Kingdom FC. Hope you curler. I hope you're well as well. Big up to you, Craig Parker. And I will catch you guys later. Kazimia, I did not forget you, broski. Samuel Ingram, enjoy your day as well. Guys, we will be back at 1:30 UK. I hope you guys have a great day. And if you haven't before, go to the description, smash the like on Mark and MUFC fan link. Go to my channel, subscribe, and smash a like. You know what I mean? Leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. If you're interested as well in the FPL game, I've already created a league. It's in my community page on Mark and MUFC fan. Let me drop the link in the chat just in case you guys have not seen it yet. So let's go. And you guys get in. Join the fun. It's going to be very interesting to see how it progresses next season. And I would love to see you guys there. The link is in the chat. Smash a like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And if you are subscribed to MUFC Realist TV as well, make sure to drop those notifications because the news is going to be coming every morning. The updates is going to be coming every day. And you're going to be getting it right here. And I'm going to be the one hosting the show for you guys in the mornings. And in the middays, hopefully I will be joined by Mick as soon as he's back from his little vacation. And it will be the M&M show again, back for everyone. I hope you guys have a great day. It's been your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan, and I hope you guys have a great day. Glory, glory, Man United. And you know how we do it, guys. We've got to do it any which way we can. Big up to everyone coming in. You all are legends, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. Ciao.